In chess and in life as well, we are often faced with a decision to make, a crossroads, a point in the road where we come to where there's two ways to go. And that happened for me this morning in one of the only few games I've played in the classical arena, monthly classical arena, which I just noticed it's the monthly one. This game was played, and I reached a point where I actually started to think about it. I went away, and because it's classical, I went away. I didn't play Berserk mode. I went away during my move, and I thought about what way am I going to go. So here I am going to show you the position of which that point in my thinking arose. Okay, so here we're going to have a look at the point of where I was thinking, which way shall I go here? Positional or tactical? So white plays bishop e4 on move 9, and here at this point black is met with bishop g5 from white's hand on move 10. So I played the following move, which is in itself kind of tactical. I played here queen a5 check. So knight d2 happened, and bishop e5, d e5, knight d7, bishop f4. So now at move 13 is the whole point of this whole thing. La la la. I'm sitting there going, what do I do? Because I've noticed there's two roads to go here. The tactical one is to gang up on the c-pawn, but how do I do it? Okay, to gang up on the c-pawn and to go sort of pawn hunting. The positional idea is to play this, maybe go queen back here, knight here or something, as long as white gets to defend this e5 pawn. c5, bishop d7, okay, c5 eventually, bishop d7, rook here, or rook here, doesn't matter, and bishop c6 and d4, etc., which I would consider probably positional and tactical as well. If white captures here, we're going to capture the bishop on f4. So that's the tactical positional idea. The other idea is to gang up on this pawn, but how can I do that? Well, I could play d4, okay. d4 attacks the pawn, doesn't it, on e5, and the pawn on e3 cannot capture because of rook f4, and I win a piece. So that's pretty cool. So I went away from the game. I spent, I don't know, I wonder if I can just find out. I don't want to show this because it'll show my next move. So what do? Do I go tactical, which I'm told I'm very reasonable at, or do I go positional? And I thought, well, I've only played, eventually I came up with my nature, which is a bit dangerous. I went tactical because I thought, well, I like to do a bit of experimental, don't I? So what move do I actually play? What move would you play? If you're going to go, you can decide whether you'd go positional here or whether you'd go tactical. I mean, tactical could be just queen back to b6 and threaten this b2 pawn. And I really thought, no, you're not going to do that because you'll just lose. You'll just lose terribly. So I thought, well, I won't go queen b6 and threaten queen b2. You know, or queen b4 threatening queen b2, because then I'm still pinning the knight, aren't I, on d2. So the knight's not going to move to b3, is it? Because I'm just going to take kingy. So this is what happens in chess. So maybe I played d4. Maybe I played g5. That's really tactical, isn't it? Maybe I played c5 and thought, well, I'll combine the two. I'll play positional and tactical at the same time, which can be quite feisty. So what do? I played the following move. Okay, so I hope you're ready for it. But I had to think about it. I actually thought about it. And this is a classical game of chess. This is not my strength. Classical chess is not my strength. Although I have beaten the Grandmaster from the Georgia near the Black Sea. I have beaten that player there, the Grandmaster, who's played Magnus, blah, 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 blah. So I choose a particular move because upon thinking about it, I thought, hang on a second. If I play this move, then all of a sudden, the problem with the knight d2 is a problem for white, especially if white wants to castle. So upon this, but I also thought long term, I think it's very, very dangerous playing this move here, which is rook f5. Now, rook f5 just threatens knight e5. Sort of. And but what about g4? No good is g4 after knight e5 if it's my turn now. Because then I have knight f3 check and maybe rook away to f8. Oh, let's chicken out. So rook f5 and so I was fully prepared for g4. Because when I thought about it, I actually used my brain. I thought about it. I thought, well, I'm going to go tactical. Why not? I'm going to lose some points if I lose. Yep, fair enough. But why not? So I went tactical, as I've said a few thousand times now. And so after g4, I had to be ready for what I'm going to do next, which is, of course, rook e5. Now, I'm not sure, but maybe not taking is the best thing for black to worry about. The best thing for white here might be to leave my rook there, leave my rook there because taking it is going to aid my game, isn't it? Because look at this. If you take me, my knight's on e5, okay, my knight's here, okay, so the knight's on e5, the bishop's taken, the knight's on e5, and all of a sudden castling, I thought to myself when I was going to make my cup of coffee, I have something there, don't I? It's very easy to see with puzzles as queen takes knight. Checked the queen. But you say, well, what about queen takes queen? Then I have just knight f3 check, and this knight takes queen. The royal fork all over again. Don't we love the royal fork? So, this said, my opponent played bishop e5, so I went knight e5. And now, maybe my opponent's just thought, oh, hang on. If I castle here, doesn't black just play queen d2 and take my knight? And then end up with a pawn and 2 pieces for 1 rook. I think I've got that right. I do. At the same time, of course, I'm threatening knight f3 maybe. So c3 comes about. So it's a little bit sad, isn't it? I would have liked to have just shown you castle, queen d2, knight f3, resigns. Check. Resigns. But my opponent has other ideas, and so I'm not going to show you the whole game because it kind of got spoilt with playing on when it was completely lost. I might do it quickly, but I might not. Just depends how I feel at the time. So c3, now I haven't got queen d2 anymore, have I? Can't take queen d2 anymore because the pawn's in the way. Maybe I should just go queen b5, queen a6, b6 with the idea of bishop a6. Maybe I should just hop in here, which looks quite good. So I think everyone would probably play knight d3 check. King f1, so it's your move now. What would you play now? I render white's position down a little bit with the following knight b2, and also I am looking at this white squared bishop of mine where white hasn't got one, and this is all of a sudden like white is fianchettoed and they're missing their g2 bishop, their white squared bishop. Here I'm threatening the queen, of course, so I'm waiting for white's reply, which is queen c2. Otherwise, I possibly might have been very, very naughty, dear Watson, and played queen c3 if queen c2 wasn't played. Knight d3, back to home base. Now, we have normality. Now, f3 came about. Now, what would you play now for white? No. What would you play now for black? What's your move for black now? Because this is undermining my strong knight outpost on e4 support, and black is threatened with undermining my knight outpost on d3 by eradicating these 2 pawns. So what would you play now? What I played here was the following move, knight e5. So my opponent now goes f4. I think that's a mistake. I'm sure that you can find better for white here than this, especially that you're an exchange up. But here, f4 is really bad because it leaves this lovely strong pawn on e4. Yes, it's a little bit of an issue about how to get this bishop out, but this, as soon as f4 is played, okay, as soon as f4 is played, then I've just got knight swinging to knight g4 with a big threat of knight e3 check. And that's just about where I'm going to leave it soon, because f4, knight g4, and now my opponent played a big blunder with rook g1, and I went knight e3 check, and that's what ended up happening, and the game was over. Another sort of lot of moves after, so I'm not going to go into detail there. So this position was reached, and my opponent played rook g1, knight e3 check, And that's where I'm going to leave this, because everyone knows how to win this for black. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's session. I think it's very, very important to play what you consider or what you know yourself to be best in. Whether you're Garry Kasparov, Misha Tal, or whether you're Botvinnik and Viktor Korchnoi or Anatoly Karpov. One or the other. You're that or combination of all. And so if you're the world champion, then you can play any way which you like. There you go. Bye. Thank you for watching. Know that you're very important, and I appreciate you watching this. Bye for now. Chichi. Happy Queen's birthday weekend, Happy birthday, Queenie. I was actually, just before I go, I was actually going to bring you my Queen is behind enemy lines on the Queen's birthday weekend, even though she had her birthday a bit earlier. Happy birthday to all those people out there. Bye.